Welcome back to Star Strong Shine Bold. Have you ever seen those little strips, like the ones that test pH levels? You dip them in and just like that, like there's a color change and you get some instant feedback and maybe even clarity about what is even going on in the item or the liquid that you dipped it in. It could be acidic, alkaline, or it could even be balanced. There's no guessing, there's no arguing, there's no defending. It's just truth revealed on the color of that test or the color of that strip. I got to thinking, what if we had that kind of litmus test in our everyday lives? Not for water, not for science, but for people, situations, conversations, energy. What if we had an internal strip, like an intuitive knowing that we could dip into a moment and immediately sense, is this healthy for me? Is this pulling me into peace or is it pushing me into defense? Is this aligned or is this chaos dressed up as a conversation? Let's be real for just a minute. We are living in a world where it feels like everything is a test, but not the kind that leads to growth. It's more like a setup, if you ask me. You say something and suddenly you're judged. You stand somewhere and suddenly you're labeled. You believe something and suddenly you're attacked. It's like if you don't pick a side, people don't know what to do with you. And if you do pick a side, you better be ready to defend it like your life depends on it. And somewhere in all that noise, we've lost something really sacred. The ability to just be, to just believe, to just stand in our truth without needing to armor up for battle every time we want to think it. So what if instead of engaging in every argument, instead of even stepping into every emotionally charged conversation, instead of trying to prove our worth, our beliefs, and our stance, we used a different kind of test. A litmus test of the soul, if you will. A pause, maybe even a check-in, a quiet question that says, what is all of this doing to me? Not what does this mean to them? Not how can I win this? Not even how do I respond in a way that gets applause? But instead, what is this doing to me? It is tightening my chest. Is it raising my voice? Is it shifting me out of who I am at my core, the who of me? Anything that pulls you out of your character is not your assignment. Anything that drags you into defensiveness is not your calling. Anything that requires you to abandon your peace just to participate, that's not your place. How about we call that our litmus test of life? Not the loudest voice, not the trending topic, not the most convincing argument, but your response, your reaction, your internal shift. That should be the indicator. Because you don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. You don't have to respond to every opinion thrown your way. And you certainly don't have to prove your goodness or your worth or even your beliefs to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Let me say that again. You do not have to prove yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. So instead of asking, how do I respond? Try asking, do I even need to enter this space to begin with? That's your power, and that's your wisdom. That's emotional intelligence at its highest level. Because the goal isn't to win the argument. The goal is to keep your peace, to stay rooted in you and your who and what you believe in, to remain who you are regardless of who they are. And sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is not react, not engage, not even to defend, but simply step back and say, this doesn't pass my test, and walk away with your peace still intact. That's not a weakness. That's the mastery of you, the who you are, and you know what's best for you. That's knowing that your energy is too valuable to be spent proving something to someone who has already decided for you. Don't give them that power. I challenge you today to create your own litmus test. Pay attention to how things feel, not just how they sound. Notice what shifts inside of you when you engage with certain people and certain conversation in certain environments. If it doesn't suit you, then get out of it. And when something pulls you out of your alignment, you don't need to fix it. You don't need to fight it. You don't need to prove anything. You just simply need to recognize and choose it differently. Because peace isn't found in winning arguments. It's found in choosing where you stand and where you refuse to. That is your litmus test. Stay rooted. Stay grounded, and above all, stay you. Thank you for listening. Star Strong, Shine Bold. Until next time.